Welcome, let's learn Dr. Seuss Grinch Grow Your Heart card game, a 2 to 6 player game published by Funko Games. Choose cards to make a hand that will score the most points. The player with the highest total score at the end of the game wins. To set up, write each player's initials on the top line of a score sheet. Shuffle the cards and place them in the center of the play area. The oldest player takes the Grinch tile and both heart tokens. The game is played over a series of rounds. For each round, one player is the Grinch and the other players are the Whos. All players score the cards they collected in their hand during the round, and then a new round begins with a different player as the Grinch. The game consists of a number of rounds depending on player count, so that each player will play the Grinch an equal amount of times. Each round consists of 3 turns. At the start of each round, deal 2 cards to each player, but keep your cards hidden from other players. Each player takes 3 turns. First, all the Whos take their turn at the same time. Then the Grinch will take his turn until every player has played 3 times. During the Who turn, every Who will draw 2 cards at the same time. Choose one of those cards and place them face up in a personal discard pile. Then it's the Grinch's turn to draw 2 cards, and he can draw from the draw pile and any player's discard pile in any combination he chooses. Then the Grinch chooses 1 card to discard. We can see for the first turn, everyone has 3 cards. For the second round, add the 4 token, and everyone will end the round with 4 cards. Then add the 5 token, and of course, everyone will end the round with 5 cards. When both heart tokens are on the Grinch tile, it's time to end the round and score your cards. At the end of the round, players choose which row on the score sheet they wish to score. So for wreaths, they would add up the numbers on the wreath cards. If they chose noise, they would add up the total amount on the noise cards. If they chose ornaments, they would add up the numbers on the ornament cards. If they chose presents, they would add up the numbers on the present cards. If they picked rainbow, they would total the highest card of each color. If they chose match, they would score 10 points for 3 cards of the same color, 20 points for 4 cards of the same color, or 30 points for 5 cards of the same color. And if they chose run, they would get 15 points if they had 4 cards in numerical order, or 25 points if they had 5 cards that ran in numerical order. And some cards give out bonuses. So in this case, let's say the player decides to score ornaments. They would get 17 points for the ornament cards, but Cindy Lou Who also gives 5 bonus points if a blue present is also present, for a total of 22 points. And some cards will give 10 bonus points if there are 3 of a type in a person's hand being scored. So if this player were scoring noise, this 16 points becomes 26. And if you had multiple bonuses, you could score multiple bonus points. And now be careful, as players can only score 1 row once. So this player can no longer score wreaths, this player can no longer score ornaments, and this player can no longer score noise. Once scoring is completed, pass the Grinch and heart tokens to the next player clockwise to start the next round. So a 2-player game will be played for 6 rounds, a 3-player game for 6 rounds, a 4-player game for 4 rounds, a 5-player game for 5 rounds, and a 6-player game for 6 rounds. And whoever has the highest total score wins. If there were a tie, the tied players share the victory. Thank you for joining me to learn Dr. Seuss Grinch Grow Your Heart card game. Have fun!